Listen, we got to discuss breaking news involving Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges, he completely wowed out against the San Antonio Spurs. I'm here to tell you why his efficiency is just at an all-time high right now. He is the savior of the New York Knicks. The Knicks, they was going down a slippery slope. It looked like their season was just hanging in the balance. A lot of people predicted the Knicks to be of the upper echelons of the NBA, not just the Eastern Conference, ladies and gentlemen. But it's been some pitfalls to get there, but they're there. They are a top three seed right now in the East. They are very dangerous, y'all. Mikal Bridges, man, is just the truth and a half. Last night he went toe to toe with Victor Wembanyama. Victor, I heard, wasn't too impressed, but nonetheless, Mikal Bridges put up 41 points in 43 minutes, shooting 17 of 25 from the field, 6 of 9 from three. He had one rebound, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. This guy is just completely filling the stat sheet. It was a whole bunch of picks, to get this guy, Mikal Bridges, from the Brooklyn Nets, to pair him with his guy, Jalen Brunson. He was already in New York. Obviously the Brooklyn Nets is a whole nother situation compared to the New York Knicks. I'm pretty sure he could tell you that. But he understands the city and the people, and you know the some of the pressures. I ain't gonna say all of it, but some of them. And he had a new shot. A lot of people didn't give him credit. And he was coming onto a new team. So the season didn't start off accordingly. It started off bad. I got to keep it real. People was trying to figure out, was this another Andre Bargnani or something like that, times two. But I think if Mikal continues, he's gonna rewrite all of those wrongs and have Knicks fans very happy that they pulled the trigger on that move. I think that's very crucial. That the Knicks needed to do that because they kind of was going down a rocky road, similar to how they got Carl Anthony Towns. I thought that everything kind of worked accordingly. It just everything worked perfectly, hand in hand. And you see the Knicks, they're benefiting off of that. They just needed some time. I can only imagine what it would be like with a full season or something like that. But nonetheless, we have to go with what we have here. The Knicks, man, they almost lost. That's why I'm saying we got to keep it real. They was about to lose that game against Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs, but thank God we got something from Mikal Bridges. Him and Carl Anthony Towns is really gelling, and you see, Jalen Brunson, he's able to really come off the basketball how a lot of people predicted that he possibly was going to be able to. Carl Anthony Towns is playing at an all-star level, and with Mikal Bridges, if he continues to put up these numbers, I'm trying to figure out how he can miss out on the All Star game. If he continues to do all of these things, putting up these big buckets, hitting shots from all over the place. Pause. You're talking about from 3 point, from mid range. This guy's attacking the basket. So he's just opening up the floor. This guy, like I said, this guy's setting records as a New York Knick. He set a record I believe Carmelo didn't even do, but Carmelo set numerous records, as a New York Knick. But I think that this team that they have, obviously us Knick fans, the last time we scratched or felt like we was gonna win something prior to the Brunson era was Carmelo Anthony. This team obviously is completely different. They were never this aggressive, in the trade market. You see the Knicks, they put up all of the picks, and surrounded, Brunson with weapons. They didn't necessarily do that with Carmelo Anthony. They ended up unloading the weapons, so I mean it's just a mess. But that's neither here nor there. The Knicks could win a championship if you continue to get this. The thing now with this guy, Mikal Bridges, is him in the clutch. When you look at Mikal, obviously he put up big time numbers. We got to remember he was the number one option when he was in the Brooklyn. So he's coming into this situation having to take obviously a lesser role. I kind of like it into what he was doing in Phoenix to a degree, because they have all stars on this team. He's playing with two other all stars, bona fide, with Brunson and Carl Anthony Towns. So he's going to have to mix and master some things in order to get his game where it needs to be. But I'm pretty sure this move to New York is not about him just putting up monster numbers. This guy wants to win a championship. So how can he, continue this in the playoffs when the game slows down, when the pressure's on? Can he hit these shots? Can he go hit things in the mid-range? Can he open things up backdoor for Carl Anthony Towns? Because you got to understand, they're gonna shut somebody down in New York. New York has always been the problem with the Knicks through the years, even when they were going up against the Atlanta Hawks. I don't know how they lost against the Hawks. That's why I'm trying to tell you, against pressurized situations. You got Trey Young coming to town. Obviously, we can't put it all on Mikal Bridges, but still, the Knicks, you got to win those kind of games, man. I'm just got to keep it all the way real with you. Against the Hawks, he put up 19 points. He was efficient, 9 of 17, but from three, he was 1 of 5. You understand? These are the things that you got to think about. When you went up against Orlando, he was 1 of 3. Obviously against Minnesota, he was 4 of 8. You could take that. But, I'm looking at the matchups against your Eastern Conference foes. You have to get right, because in the playoffs, you can't shoot, 1 of 5 from 3, and that is over, and that's what the New York Knicks could be, dealt with. And I'm just happy to, just like I said, touch bases on this, y'all. We're gonna be bringing a lot of New York Knicks content because Knicks, they're playing inspiring basketball right now. I usually don't give the Knicks, my full, heart, because every time I do, it ends in catastrophic events. So I'm kind of watching from afar. And like I said, that's my team, that's my squad, but I want to see more and more and more before I completely, okay, let's go. And the pressure, that's the Knicks problem. New York City, it could be a gift and a curse. The Garden is a wonderful place to play. It's the best arena in the NBA, but is also a major stage. It's Broadway, it's Gotham City, that's New York City, y'all. So you got these opposing stars coming to New York like they at the Rucker, and we cannot continue to have that. And when we do have that, can Mikal shut these guys down? How can you have Trey going for monster numbers in New York City? The fans hate him. How could we allow this? So that's what I'm looking at. So nonetheless, Mikal has turned it around. He's got the shot in order. Tibbs is figuring things out. This is a new squad. They made trades, new acquisitions. They needed some time. They still may need some time. So just letting everybody know, pump the brakes. And Mikal is doing this thing. His efficiency numbers is through the roof right now. But what can he do in the clutch? Let's to get in the comments section and let's discuss. It's Flight Sports. Make sure you hit the like button and most definitely hit the subscribe button. It's Flight Sports TV.